Thanks so much for joining me. Today's class, plan on just doing a nice hip class, focusing on some various versions of pigeon. So looking forward to that. So I thought we'd actually start in child's pose today. So you can always use a rolled up blanket or even a towel to help support the body if that feels nice. If you do have a block, you can always put that up underneath the hips on top of the ankles. But let's come down, letting the knees either come out wide or under the body to support the torso. Bringing the hands up toward the top of your mat or back by your feet. And then the forehead can come down toward the earth. If it's comfortable for you here in child's pose to close down the eyes, I welcome you to start bringing in the observation. And it's a little easier here as the face is pointing down toward the ground to start to block out those other sensories and really just focus on what's happening inside your own body. You can let the breath follow its regular tempo, maybe observing the inhales and exhales. Notice the belly as it expands either on top of or between the thighs. Notice where the end of your body is and the beginning of the air, that fine line, even the sensation of the air around you on the skin. In these first few moments of class, it feels nice to sway side to side, gently rocking the hips. That might be a nice movement. And as you take those soft sways, you might notice sensations bubble to the surface. And so identifying those, acknowledging their presence and what they might mean for you in your practice this morning. Before we cultivate our breath, we're going to walk the hands off to the right, giving the left side of our body a little bit of length. Walking the hands off to the left, this time giving the right side of our body a little bit of length. Coming back to center and then up toward a seat. So I'm going to stay here in a folded position, a hero's pose, if you will. You can separate the ankles if that feels all right, letting the hips sink between the feet. I'm going to stay up on my ankles, feet folded underneath me. If you prefer to fold the legs in front of you, take a seated position that's most comfortable. Hands can rest on the thighs, either palms down or palms toward the sky. And let's lower the gaze or close the eyes as you begin to deepen your breath, taking hold of that tempo and letting the chest and belly begin to expand out into space. A couple of beginning deep inhales and exhales to really find that maximum expansion, that fullness that you have in breath before working toward a sustainable tempo, something to hold on to for the next hour. As you continue to breathe in this new breathing pattern, I welcome you to also find an intention or a purpose for your practice today. Whatever it may be, person, place, thing, idea, something to help ground you onto the mat, something to bring you back to the present moment. Taking just 2 more breaths here. And then we'll come to a tabletop. So the legs are folded underneath you. You might just shift forward, beginning to stack the hips over the knees, the shoulders right behind the wrists. We'll move straight into cat-cow. So as you inhale, you'll begin to lower the belly, extending the heart toward the front of your mat. And then exhale, engage the core, press the mid back toward the sky. Continuing like this on your own, inhale to lower the belly, open the heart forward. Then exhale, engage the core, press yourself away from the earth. Continue to follow your own breath count like this. Inhale down. And exhale, engage. As always, you have freedom here to add other movements if you want to do side to side or big round movements, either around the spine or up and around the wrists and back by the ankles. For the next few breaths, it's really a time for freedom to move in the torso. Move in ways that feel nice, maybe even visit those sticky spots you haven't visited yet. Taking 2 more breaths here and then coming back to a nice neutral spine. From here, we'll take a puppy dog. So keeping a nice engagement, a gentle pull of the navel back toward the spine. We're gonna walk the hands forward. Be mindful that the hips stay over the knees and then the chin or forehead may meet the earth. One more breath. Walk the hands backward, coming back to your tabletop. We're going to shift to a half plank. So as you shift the body forward, lowering the hips, and then all the way down to the mat, hugging the elbows in toward the rib cage as we go. Taking a Sphinx pose, we'll shift the forearms forward, this time elbow underneath the shoulder, spreading the fingers out wide, really grip the mat. And then feel the engagement of the legs as you press the tops of the feet down into the earth. So we're starting to press the pelvis down onto our mats. And then imagine you're drawing your heart and your chest forward. Nice. Finding an openness in the front side of the body. Draw the shoulders down away from the ears to grow through the neck. And you can stay still right here using your breath tempo, or on your next exhale, gaze over your left shoulder. Lengthening the right side of the neck. Let's inhale to the other side. Exhale, gaze over that right shoulder. Inhale through center. Let's do that one more time each side. Exhale over to the left. Inhale up through center. Exhale over to the right. Inhaling back to center. We're going to take a reverse push-up. So we're going to lower down onto our bellies, hands at chest height, elbows pull in. Now you can come to that half plank or you can tuck the toes coming to full plank. Belly pulls in, nice long line from the head to the knees, and then the knees to the heels. And then find our first downward facing dog. Hips go high, heels start to sink down. Now this first down dog, you're welcome to create some movement, maybe pedaling the feet, maybe give the head a little shake, yes and no. Maintaining that nice steady breath. And then maybe work towards stillness. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Last one. Inhale, gaze forward at the hands. Exhale, step, walk, or float to a forward fold, top of your mat. So we'll take a few moments here if you want to grab opposite elbows or let the hands rest down by the earth. Feet really can be any distance here. If you want to take hips width or you want a heel toe to a wider stance, you can make that choice for yourself. Again, taking time to allow the backs of the legs to lengthen, to be generous with a bend in the knee, and then maybe working toward a still, nice forward fold. Let's take 2 more breaths. On your next inhale, lengthen the spine. So the fingertips might still graze the floor, or you can bring hands to shins or even thighs. Finding the engagement in the low back, belly draws in once again. And then exhale, forward fold. We're gonna do 2 more of those. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Last one, inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Let's take a reverse swan dive all the way to standing. Inhale, straight spine. And exhale, hands down to heart center. Let's take 2 more breaths together. Stay standing. Inhale, sweep the hands out and up. Exhale, hands down through heart center. Nice, 1 more of those. Inhale, sweep the hands out and up. And then exhale, hands down through heart center. Beautiful. So we're going to take a little bit of a standing back bend. So hands are going to come behind the body. You might interlace the fingers or grab opposite elbows. Think about lengthening the spine first and create energy in the legs. So sinking down through the soles of the feet, really start to engage all of the muscles, the quadriceps and the glutes especially. Now we're going to think about lifting the heart up and then over. So as you draw your heart forward, maybe you begin to straighten the arms if you're interlacing those fingers, and then lifting the gaze, lifting the heart. This doesn't have to be a deep back bend, but notice the engagement of the glutes and the thighs. Really create a strong base here as you lift up and over, opening the front side of the body. 2 more breaths. You can drop the head back if that's comfortable. Last breath. And then softly draw yourself back up to a nice mountain pose and give yourself a little shake out. Nice. We're going to take a series of a slow sun salutation to begin, and then we'll move on to Surya Namaskar A. So let's bring hands to heart center first. Inhale, lengthen the spine, press into the palms. Draw your arms out and up. Inhale. Exhale, dive forward, straight spine. Inhale, lengthen the crown of the head forward. And as we exhale, we're going to step back with that right foot coming to a low lunge. So draw the right knee down. Nice runner's lunge here as you open up that right hip flexor. Let's come to Anjaneyasana from here. Both hands to the thigh, heart center, or you can begin to extend the arms up and overhead. Draw that belly back toward the spine. If the arms are up and overhead, exhale, begin to come to a nice goalpost arms or cactus arms. Let's inhale, arms up again. Doing that 2 more times. Exhale, draw the arms out, opening the heart. Inhale, up again. Last time. Exhale, draw the heart open. Inhale, hands overhead. Exhale, hands down to frame the foot. Let's step back to a plank pose. Option to hold plank before going to down dog, or move through your first vinyasa. Exhale to lower down. Inhale, lift the heart, maybe cobra or even an up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Taking just 1 more breath here. Right leg's going to begin to lift up and off the mat. Exhale, knee comes in toward the chest, step between the hands. We're taking the low lunge on the left side. So let's lower the left knee first, lifting the heart forward for a runner's lunge. And then coming to that Anjaneyasana, hands either to the thigh, heart center, or begin to extend them up and overhead. Really nice. If the arms are up and overhead, let's exhale, cactus arms again. Draw the belly in here as you inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, cactus arms. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, cactus arms. That's the last one. As we inhale, lift the fingertips toward the sky. Exhale, hands come down to frame the foot. We're going to lift the back knee and step forward to a forward fold. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up. And exhale, hands down to heart center. Let's do the other side. Inhale, sweep the hands out and up. Exhale, straight spine, dive forward. Inhale, lengthen. This time as you exhale, we're stepping the left foot back, finding that runner's lunge. So let's lower the back knee down, opening the heart forward. We'll take an Anjaneyasana again. So hands come to the thigh, again, heart center or extending up and overhead just for a breath. And then we're going to bring the hands behind us again. So you can grab opposite elbows, you can interlace the fingers. We're going to take that same engagement. So really imagine you're drawing the feet together, lifting the pelvic floor, lots of energy in the thighs to help support the low back. And then if you want to play with that back bend again, inhale, lift the heart, and maybe draw those hands down that back thigh. Again, option to lower that head between the shoulders. I'm going to keep mine slightly lifted as I think about lifting the heart toward the ceiling. Just one more breath. On your next inhale, come on back up, Anjaneyasana. Release the hands toward the ceiling. And exhale, hands come down, frame the foot. We're coming to our plank pose again. So shifting the right foot back. Option to hold this before down dog or move through your vinyasa. Exhale to lower down. Inhale, lift the chest. And exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg lifts, inhale. Exhale, knee to chest step between the hands. We're coming back to that runner's lunge. Let's take an inhale here. Anjaneyasana is next, hands to the thighs. Maybe you begin to extend them up and overhead. Back bend will be next. So again, we're bringing hands behind us. This time, interlace the fingers in the opposite way or grab the opposite elbows. Think about that energy you can create in the lower body. Draw the knee and the foot together. Lift the pelvic floor. And then as we exhale, find whatever depth of back bend you like. Squeezing, utilizing all the glute energy, your thigh energy. One more nice long breath here. We're coming back up on the next inhale. Arms release toward the ceiling. Exhale, hands come down, frame the front foot. Step up to a forward fold, exhale. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. We'll do a couple rounds of Surya Namaskar, a one breath, one movement. Let's inhale, sweep the hands out and up. Exhale, dive forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands, step or hop back to your plank. Move through your vinyasa on your breath. Exhale to lower. Inhale to lift. And exhale, downward facing dog. Let's take a few breaths here in down dog. Inhale, let's gaze forward. Exhale, step, walk, or float, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart center. Let's do that one more time. Inhale. Exhale, dive on down. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, plant the hands, step or hop back to your plank, vinyasa on your breath. Taking, again, a few breaths in our down dog. And we're going to hang out here in down dog. As we inhale, we'll lift the right leg toward the back of our mat. Stack the hips, bend the knee. Give yourself some space here to rotate around in the ankle, or even draw big circles in the air with your knee to rotate around in the hip. Inhale, lengthen the legs, square the hips again. Exhale, right knee to left elbow. So we're taking a bit of a twist, coming toward a plank position. And inhale, three-legged dog. We'll do that twist again. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, three-legged dog. Just one more of those. Exhale, twist, knee to elbow. Inhale, three-legged dog. And then knee to chest, exhale. Plant the foot between the hands, and we'll find Anjaneyasana again. Lower the back knee down. Hands can work their way to the thigh, heart center, or extension overhead. Really nice. We'll take a twist from here. So we're going to plant the left hand down next to that right foot. Open up the right shoulder toward the right side of your mat, and then stacking the shoulders, reaching those fingertips toward your ceiling. So imagine you're drawing your belly button away from your right thigh, and then opening up. Use the leverage from the floor. You have the option to tuck the back toes, to lift the back knee, to change the dynamic of this twist. Slowly lower that back knee down if it's lifted, and then right hand comes to the inside of the right foot as we prepare for lizard pose. So you might heel toe the foot to the side of the mat. You can stay high on the palms if you like, or even come down onto the forearms if that range of motion is available to you. As many of you know, there's lots of options for lizards. If you want to roll onto the outside of your right foot, or even tuck these back toes to lift the knee, changing the dynamics of the stretch and of the posture to fit what you need today. We're going to take 2 more breaths here. If you're not already on your palms, let's slowly all make our way there. We're going to come to a deep squat and use our lizard pose. So if your right foot is not all the way to the side of your mat, slowly heel toe it there. We're going to tuck the back toes to lift the back knee, and then bring our left foot forward to the outside of our hands, sink the hips low. There we are, Halasana pose. Hands can stay in front of you for support, or you can bring those hands toward heart center. Draw that belly in, and then lift the heart forward. If it feels all right to give a gentle press into the inner thighs, you can do that. If it doesn't, slowly release that tension. Taking 2 more breaths. So we're going to transition toward a plank pose. You can lower the hands down and step back, or you can go through a crow to hop your way back. I'm going to step back this morning. Option to hold plank before down dog, or work your way through a vinyasa. Taking a few breaths here in our down dog. On your next inhale, left leg lift, stack the hips, bend the knee. Again, rotation in the ankle or even in the hip joint is available to you here. Inhale, lengthen the legs, square the hips, and exhale, left knee to right elbow. So taking that twist, and then inhale, lengthen, three-legged dog. We'll do that a few more times. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, three-legged dog. Last one, exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, three-legged dog. Coming to our low lunge, exhale, knee to chest. Step between the hands, and we'll lower the right knee down. Finding Anjaneyasana when you're ready. So we've already been here a number of times this morning, so maybe you can sink a little lower. You can still find that pelvic floor lift if you imagine you're drawing the knee and the foot toward one another. Taking the twist on the other side, this time right hand plants itself down next to the left foot, and then we're lifting the left fingertips toward the sky. So again, you have that option to lift that back knee. Imagine you're drawing the belly away from the thigh here. Then left hand's gonna come down to the inside of the left foot as we heel toe that foot to the outside of our mats. So for our lizard pose, again, working toward maybe what you did on the first side, but editing, we know that one side is never quite equal to the other. So finding a position and a modification for your lizard that fits you this morning. Taking just a couple more breaths here. If you're not already up on your palms, we can slowly make our way there. So we're coming to that deep squat again. So making sure this left foot is fully planted on the mat, tuck the back toes to lift the right knee, and then we're stepping forward with the right foot to the outside of our mat, sinking those hips nice and low. Pressing the triceps once again to the inner thighs, if that feels okay on you, and then draw the heart forward. Really use this time to open up those inner thighs. If you need to or wanted to build a little seat for yourself with a block, you're always welcome to do that. Taking just another breath or two. And we'll transition back to our plank. Again, if you wanted to plant the hands and take a moment here for your crow pose, and that's part of your practice, you're always welcome to take a crow first. You can either lower the feet down to shift toward a plank, or if you're working toward that hop, you can shoot the feet back, and then maybe vinyasa. Just different versions of a transition. Meeting in down dog when you're ready. We'll take a few breaths here. On your next inhale, right leg lifts. This time, right knee to the right elbow. So we're taking a nice side crunch here. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. That was the last one. Let's inhale, three-legged dog. We're coming to our first pigeon, just regular old pigeon. We'll start with king pigeon first. So releasing that back leg straight behind you. Flex these right toes. We're resting our shin down on the mat, and we're coming high up on the fingertips, or even pressing into the foot and the thigh, lifting that heart forward. So we've got a couple options. You're welcome to move toward a humble pigeon if you want to work your way down onto the mat or onto your forearms. If you want to stay more energetic and you want to work toward your mermaid, you might bend the back leg, reaching for the left foot with the left hand. You might choose to just use that leverage of the bent elbow to draw that foot closer. If you can get those toes to the inner elbow, to that crook in your elbow, you're welcome to do that and then begin to reach up and overhead for fingertips. I can't quite reach, so I'm going to keep my right hand down, supporting my body. Taking a few breaths like this. If you're holding onto that back foot, softly release it. If you're down in a humble pigeon, you slowly make your way up onto your palms. We're going to all sit down onto that right hip. We're going to bring this left leg all the way around, stacking it on top of the right, coming to fire log pose. So the ankle's on top of the knee is on top of the ankle. If some of you have a gap the way I do, you might put a block there to help support the hips. If you look down, you should be able to see a nice triangle in between the legs. Hands can rest on the thighs. You might choose to stay seated or begin to fold. Keep flexing those toes. We'll take 2 more breaths. On your next inhale, draw yourself up if you're folded. We need to come back to a plank, so we might fold the legs in a more comfortable way, roll over those knees, and shift toward your plank pose. Again, option to hold plank to down dog or move through vinyasa. When you get to down dog, left leg lifts, inhale. As we exhale, left knee to left elbow. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale, knee to elbow. Last one, inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale, knee to elbow. This time as we inhale, 3-legged dog, we'll exhale, coming to our pigeon. So we're lowering the left shin down, right leg is extended right behind us. So starting with our king pigeon or proud pigeon, lifting the heart forward, letting the hands rest on the floor or pressing into the foot and the thigh, open the front side of your body. Really nice. So we've got a couple options moving from here. Just like we did on the other side, if you want to come down to a humble pigeon, you may walk your way down either onto your forearms or let your forehead reach the earth. If you want to work toward that mermaid pose, you might bend the back knee, reach back for the foot with the right hand. Again, you might move those toes into the elbow area so that you can bend the elbow and reach overhead to grab fingertips. Again, that's not part of my practice now, so I'm going to keep my left hand down. Utilizing your breath this whole time. Let's just take 2 more. If you're holding on to that foot, we're going to softly release it. If you're down in your humble pigeon, softly come up onto your palms. We're going to all shift onto our left hip this time and swing this right leg around to stack the shin on top of the left. Again, ankle over knee, knee over ankle. Pad or use a block to help fix this gap if it's uncomfortable for you. lifting the chest, making sure you can see that nice triangle shape. If you fold, or if you prefer to fold, you're welcome to lower the hands and begin to fold forward. If you're folded, come on back up. We'll shift back toward our plank, fold the legs in a more comfortable way, rotate over those knees if that's all right for you. Holding in plank pose before down dog, or follow your breath through vinyasa. Giving yourself just another breath or two here in down dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, knee to chest, step between the hands. We're coming to warrior two. So windmill those hands out and around, lower that left heel down. So we can still begin to build some strength in the glutes and in the pelvic floor by drawing the feet together in our mind's eye. You can still sink nice and deep into this right knee and firing up this quadricep. Utilizing your breath for two more. We're coming to crescent pose from here. So we're going to rotate the hips forward to the front of our mat, popping up on that back toe. Hands might reach up and overhead. Nice, we're encouraging that left hip forward. We're drawing the right hip more in line and then keeping that nice deep bend in the right knee. So imagine you're drawing the feet together, creating strength in the thighs. Let's bring hands behind us again. Interlace the fingers or grab opposite elbows to find that arch, that baby back bend we took previously. Lots of energy in the glutes. Drop the head backward if it's comfortable on the neck. Coming all the way up on your next inhale. From here, we're coming to warrior three. So you can keep the hands behind you if that's a preferable arm placement. If you prefer another placement of the hands, you're welcome to change. With one step or a couple of small steps, you'll bring all the way into that right foot. I'm going to shift my way backward a bit. Bring all the way to your right foot, extending the left foot backwards. Belly pulls in here, lots of length. Two more breaths. Coming back to crescent pose, we'll bend the standing leg, let the left toes reach the earth. Let's inhale, reach the hands up and overhead if they're not already there. Warrior two, lowering that back heel down, open up to the side of your mat. Taking just one nice inhale here. And as we exhale, windmill the hands down, frame the foot, find your plank, option here to vinyasa. We'll meet in down dog. Let's do the other side. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, knee to chest, step between the hands. We're coming to warrior two first. So we're opening up to the right side of our mat, finding that engagement of the pelvic floor, lifting sensation as the belly pulls back toward the spine. Drop the shoulders down away from the ears. Take one nice long breath here. Crescent pose is next. So let's come more square to the front of our mats. We're popping high on the right toes. Arms might come up overhead to begin. So again, we're not losing any sort of depth in this bend. That knee is tracking over the midline of the left foot. Start to focus on that energy you can build in the legs. Really engage the muscles here. Draw that pelvic floor up, and then hands come behind you. Maybe interlacing the fingers in the opposite way or grabbing the elbows in the other way as well. We'll find that same arch as we inhale, lift, using the strength of the base of our bodies to support us as we start to draw the heart up and back. One more breath. As you inhale, come on back up. Keep your arms where they are if you want that for your warrior three. Otherwise, you can shift the arms to a more preferable position with one step or a couple of small steps all the way into your left foot. Reach that right foot backward. So it's a long line from the crown of your head to the sole of your foot. Belly pulls in here. Think about pointing those right toes down toward the ground. 2 more breaths. Last inhale, lengthen. We'll find our way back to our crescent pose. Lower that right toe down, bend that standing leg, arms reach up and overhead. Really nice. Warrior two is where we're headed next. Lower that right heel down. Maybe widen that stance a little bit. And then as we exhale, hands return down to the floor. Step back to your plank, option to vinyasa or downward facing dog. Let's inhale, gaze forward at the hands. Exhale, step walker float, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive, straight spine all the way up. And exhale, hands down to heart center. Beautiful. So we'll do a standing balance posture with an option to add a modified pigeon here. So we're gonna take a figure four pose to begin. So let's root into the right leg, cross the left ankle over that right thigh and bend into that standing leg to find a seat. So it does look like a little bit like a four, right? We're flexing the foot, we're opening up this left knee. Hands might start at heart center to begin, and then draw that belly back in. So we're creating a nice, strong torso. Now, many of you know that there's many stages to figure four balance pose, and we'll take a few of them. So let's bring the forearms down to the shin. So they might even touch. And you're welcome to stay right here today. Nice deep bend, like you're sitting back in a chair. Now, if we want to take that modified standing pigeon, we're going to hug this leg. So we're going to bring the elbow, the bend in the elbow to the sole of the foot so we can wrap around the shin. And then the elbow on the left arm will wrap around the knee. So you're cradling your left foot. Now you can stay right here, just hugging that into the chest, or you can slowly start to come to standing, bringing this leg with you. Ooh. Keep a flex in that left foot. Hold that shin, that knee into the chest, and then really root into that standing leg. We're taking 2 more breaths. Now we have to go back where we came from. So let's lower down, take a seat, lowering that left ankle down to the right thigh. Release that leg, hands maybe back to heart center. And then we'll come back up to our figure four, and then all the way up to standing. Woo, shake it out, a little workout on that right glute. Give yourself a moment if you need to rotate around in the ankles a bit, and then we'll come to the other side. So we'll take figure four on the left side first, rooting into the left leg, cross the right ankle over that thigh, and then sit back into your chair. So maybe a nice little stretch on that right glute after it got so much work just now. Flex those right toes. Maintain that breath, and we're going to come to the fold. So the forearms are coming down to the shin first. Maybe they touch. So we need to cradle that shin and that foot, right? So we're gonna bring the right arm around the knee and the left arm around the sole of the foot. Maybe you stay right here in the fold, cradling that leg, or maybe you begin to lift, bringing the leg with you, standing pigeon. Utilize your breath here, really sink and root in that left standing leg. Lengthen the spine. So we're more standing than we are folded here. So find some length through the crown of the head toward the ceiling. One more breath. Now we have to go back from where we came. So let's start to sink back into that chair, lowering the right ankle back down to the left thigh. Release the leg, maybe hands return to heart center, and then draw yourself back up to standing figure four, and then all the way up. Nice, 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 nice. Let's shake it out a minute. Rotate around in the ankles. We're gonna do our last vinyasa here. I'll let you take it at your own pace. We'll all meet in downward facing dog. Let's inhale, gaze at the fingertips. Exhale, jump, hop, step to a seat. We'll take a staff pose. Move the flesh away from those sit bones. Begin to sit tall in your seat as you flex the feet toward the face. So we're just gonna take a forward fold from here. We won't do the full engagement of staff today. Exhale, find the hinge. Grabbing anywhere on the legs that feels comfortable for you, or maybe using a strap or a towel to create some leverage as you fold forward. Inhale, draw yourself up. Nice tall seat. Nice, we're gonna come to Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together, knees out wide. You can stay seated here, nice tall spine, or you can forward fold, maybe with a straight spine, or maybe a nice natural curve. Inhale, draw yourself all the way up. Like to extend the left leg forward and then cross the right ankle over the top of the left thigh. Seated pigeon. Hands can come behind the body to begin, and you might bend this left knee to bring the foot and the leg in toward the chest. So it's nice because you can lengthen that left leg or bend it deeper to help leverage you how deep you want to go into this stretch. Supporting the body behind you with the hands, either fingertips pointing toward your glutes or toward the back of your mat, your choice. If it feels nice to give just a gentle sway side to side here, it might change the dynamic of the posture for you. If that's not something that feels all right, you can keep still. Let's lengthen that left leg out again, and we'll do the other side. Release that right leg, and we'll go ahead and come to the left side. We'll bring the left ankle on top of the right thigh. Hands return behind you, and then bend into that left knee to find the point at which you feel that stretch in the glute. Keep the left toes flexed here. If you want to add that gentle sway again, that's always at your disposal. Let's begin to straighten that right leg. Uncross the feet, and then you can give the legs a bit of a wiggle. So I want to give some space here for some inversion practice. It's whatever inversion you prefer, as long as the feet get above the heart. So if you have a wall nearby, maybe legs up the wall is what you want. If you're practicing headstand, handstands, forearm stands, or shoulder stands, you're welcome to take those. Today, I'm just going to do a simple candlestick. I don't even have a block here, and that's okay. You don't necessarily need one, because we all come down onto our back, so we start to enter our inversions. Mine will just be extending the feet toward the ceiling, which is a great option for an inversion practice. So finding energy in the legs as they begin to extend toward the sky. Think about and drawing that belly in, that rib cage wrapping around the organs. And use the breath. Don't lose that quite yet. We're going to take about 5 more breaths here in our inversion. Starting to make your way out of your inversion, whichever one you've taken. For me, I'll just draw the knees in toward the chest. Gently coming onto your back if you're not already there. And then lowering the feet down, knees pointing toward the sky. So as one of our final hip openers of class, we're going to take a reclined cow face pose. So we're going to cross the right knee all the way over the left and then draw both knees in toward the chest. So here you might just hold the knees in, or you can grab the feet or the shins and start to draw those feet out to the sides. So the knees can be more 90 degrees, or you can draw those feet in toward the glutes. It's really what feels best on your hips. Taking just 2 or 3 more breaths here. If you have those feet out to the side, softly release them down toward the hips. We're going to lower that left foot down and take a twist from here. So hips to the right as the knees fall to the left. If you need to change the placement or the cross of the legs to make this more comfortable in your body, please do. Maybe you extend that right arm to the side. Maybe you draw the gaze off to the right as well. Let's come back to center, lifting the knees, uncross the legs, realign the spine, and we'll come to the other side. Left knee crosses over the right, and then we'll draw those knees in toward the chest. So again, you can just hold on to the knees here. That might be where you are today or on this side. Otherwise, grabbing the feet with the hands, either drawing those feet in toward the glutes or maybe creating a 90-degree angle in the knees. It's really what fits and feels best for you. If those knees are at 90 degrees, softly lower the feet down toward the glutes. We'll lower the right foot down so we can shift the hips off to the left and lower the knees off to the right, taking our spinal twist. Maybe you extend that left leg. Again, if you need to shift or change the fold of the legs to make this more comfortable for you, please do. Drawing those legs back towards center. Realign the spine so it's long and straight. Uncross the legs. We've come to the end of our practice. Shavasana is next. If you need to add any further postures like a happy baby or a back bend, please add that now. Otherwise, beginning to become more comfortable on your mats by extending the legs out nice and long. Arms can rest by the sides. If you want to grab blankets, blocks, maybe some socks or a sweatshirt, please do that now. As you get situated in your Shavasana posture, if it feels okay to shut down the eyes or unfocus the gaze, you can begin to release the breath. Feeling the weight of your body as it's supported by the floor underneath you. Not worrying about anything or holding on to any thought. Let those thoughts just flow freely in and out of the mind. Unclench the jaw. Release the tension between the eyebrows. And we'll take a few moments here to simply be. Slowly begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes, your hands and your feet. Your arms may reach up and overhead as if you just woke up. Softly draw the knees in toward the chest and find yourself off to one side in a fetal position. When you're ready, coming to a seat on your mat, eyes can remain closed. Hands may rest on the legs or come to heart center. Expressing gratitude toward yourself for taking this time out of your day to do something just for you. If you set an intention at the beginning of class, revisit it here one last time. As always, I'll end today's class with a quote. Good things come to those who wait, but the best things come to those who do. With respect and compassion, we say, Namaste.